Hi, hello, good afternoon. It's Pip here from queenpipcards.com. Welcome to my brand new basics card tutorial today. It's just a quick Facebook Live, probably about half an hour, something like that. We're going to be talking about stamping today. So if you come on and join, please say hello, comment. I'm going to be doing a giveaway at the end of this. I'm going to give away some of our lovely new what have we got here? Where are they? They've disappeared. I'm going to be giving away a pack of these beautiful heart embellishments. Not this pack, obviously, because this bit's missing, but a full pack of these hearts embellishments. So come on, comment, say hello. Hi, Lisa. Give us a wave, give us some thumbs up and hearts, and join in today. And I'll do a random pick at the end, everyone who's commented, and then I'll ask you for your address and send you off some goodies. So yes, so welcome. Queen Pip here, or Pip Todman as I'm officially named, and we're going to be talking about stamping. Now, stamping, everybody that I know who is new to stamping always says that it worries them. They're always a bit scared about stamping. So today we're going to talk about all the different things. This is a card we made at the weekend at class, and I'm going to show you how to replicate that without the need for a die cut machine. So we're going to just talk first of all about stamps, okay? And some of the issues that people have with stamps generally come along when they're trying to stamp something and they get a dodgy image, okay? So our ink pads, our new ink pads, open like this, open, slide and close. And one of the first things people do too much is this. And they really press it down, and I don't know if you can see that, hopefully you can, but you get ink all around the edges of the stamp, okay, because you've pressed way too hard. And then what happens is you press down on your stamp and you rock it, and then you get that, okay? So you get these additional lines on the outside, you get really fat blocky letters, and people say, oh, I can't stamp, I always make a mess. Or they're putting it on the stamp and they're doing this, and they're really pressing it down, and they're getting it all over the ink, all over the block. Now everyone with OCD is now going, she's got ink all over the block. And then you're going to stamp it, and then you rock it, and you get lines like this. Okay, now I'm over exaggerating it a little bit, but lots of people just get edges of blocks where they've inked it up too much. Okay, so if you're somebody who inks like that, you need to practice how you stamp, how you ink up your stamps. Okay, so I'm going to use my chamois and I'm going to clean that off. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to have a very light touch. Our ink pads are so juicy. When they run out, you know they're running out because you can see that it's gone pale. So for example, oh, where's my, it's around the corner, hold on, 2 ticks. Where's my mango? Oh no, is it there? No, here it is. Here's my Mango Melody, okay, that we used at the weekend. And you can see that this is starting to dry out, okay? This is ready for re-inking. When you get a patch like that, I need to put the other light on, that might help, there we go. When we get a patch like this that's so much lighter than the rest of it, that's when you need to re-ink. Now I've just ordered myself my re-inker because I realised I didn't have one. So you buy the re-inker, you drop some drops on, you smooth it over with your bone folder, all's good. But when it gets sort of patchy like that, that's when you need to re-ink. But apart from when you need to re-ink, our stamp pads are very juicy, okay? So I'll get a lighter colour here. You're literally touching, you're like kissing, gentle kissing. You're literally just touching the stamp to the ink pad. Tiny amount of pressure. You do not want to see the foam in between the block and the rubber squishing, okay? You just need to tap it, and that is plenty. I say to people, if you can see it shining, so if you can see, I'm trying to get it to a position where you might be able to see there. So I know you've got horrible glare from the thing, but can you see that the actual ink on the stamp is shiny? That means you've got enough on it, and then when you stamp you'll get a perfect image. So it's about practicing how lightly you can actually put it up and down, okay? So don't get carried away and ramming it down like that. just gently, almost placing it, just touching it, picking it up, and then you'll get perfect results every time, and you won't get ink all the way around, and you won't get ink all on the block. Oh, Ruth's joined us, and so has Michelle. Welcome. Hello. So I'm talking about stamping today and issues that we might have with stamping. And if you post a comment, give me some thumbs up and some love, all that kind of stuff. I've got a free giveaway at the end of this, so you might want to do that. Okay, so just tell me what you think. Tell me your stamping issues, what things really get you or bug you. So that's the first one that generally people have. They generally press too hard, get too much ink on the block, it gets all very messy, they get it all over their hands, they get frustrated. But some really simple things like just placing it down, giving it a little bit of pressure, picking it up again and stamping. That's all you need. That helps people understand that actually you don't need to kind of ram it and do all this kind of stuff. Rocking is also not a good idea. So if you have your stamp and you've inked it up nicely and then you start rocking it like that, can you see that's how it's supposed to look? And that's what the rocking does to it. It splurges out your edges. Now you might want to have that as a technique to try, but if you do that with some stamps, it'll look really bad. So that's not a good thing, okay? So we don't want to do that. The other thing is that people miss bits. So they tap the ink pad, they think they've covered it, they stamp, and they're missing bits. See here, they've missed, there's no ink on this bit here. So I'll do that a bit. It happens more with bigger stamps. So let me try with a different stamp. Let's go with, here we go. Let's go with some frogs. Okay, so I've got my little frog. I'll pop him on the block. I'm going to make a purple frog. So when you're stamping and you have an ink pad, don't have your ink pad so far away from you that you can't really reach it. Because then when you ink it up, you think you've got it, you stamp him, and you've missed his feet. Okay, and that's very annoying. That's because you're stretching too far. Okay. Oh, comments from Ruth. Hello. Ruth says, is it better to put stamp on ink or ink on stamp? Ruth, that's a personal choice. For me, if it's this size or smaller, I would always take the stamp to the ink pad. Okay, because you can control that, I think, better. This is easier to control, doing this, than to have this and do this. Because if you do this on a stamp that you can't see when you've turned the ink pad over, you're more likely to get that. Okay, so you're more likely to get ink around it, ink all over it, and then you're back to square one with the whole kind of, oh, I'm getting extra bits on my stamping that I didn't want. So I would always say, if it's a smaller, the smaller the stamp is, put it on your, take your stamp to the ink rather than the other way around. If it's a large stamp, then no, I would take the ink pad to the stamp. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so let's have a look at this. What else we got? So yes, so if you're missing things, it's generally because you've got your ink pad too far away. Okay. Oh, good. Thanks, Ruth. That's good. You've got your ink pad too far away. Okay. Or you're going at an angle. So this is another classic. I've cleaned them off now. Let's have a Mango Melody. I can't get my head around the names of this. So the other thing is that you generally have, you know, you might be stamping at an angle. I have lots of people who stamp like this. That's hard for you to see. They stamp like this. Where are we? Yeah, so they stamp at an angle like that. They think they've covered it all, and then they miss bits, which you can't see now because it needs to be a darker colour. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the darker colour. But so the answer to that is always make sure that you're stamping straight up and straight down, and you're getting your ink in the same way. So you'll see me ink up like this and make sure I'm covering it. Sometimes if it's a larger, I'll do this to make sure that I've actually got ink on all of the places, so that when I stamp I'm not missing anything. Sometimes if you have big words and long sentiments, you might miss out the middle. of a stamp. So there's my one on my frog. Here's my frog. I haven't even taken this one out of the packet yet. Shock horror. I'm not going to put his cling on yet because that takes concentration. Does he fit on that one? No, he doesn't fit on that one. He might need to go on the bigger one. He'll fit on that one. Okay, so here's one where we've got a really big block. Okay, in this case, I wouldn't try and do him like this because it's a big block. It's 2 hands. You can do it, okay, and get a good impression. But you could also, where it's a big block, and if sometimes you're having problems holding a big block like that, this is a good one where you would take this to this. And again, you can hear what I'm doing. I'm literally just tapping it. I'm not even pressing it down. Tap, tap, tap. There you go. Now, sometimes people get issues whereby they're not doing the pressure on their stamping correctly. So they're pressing a bit like that and they miss bits. Can you see that? See how that bit's not come out at all? And that's because it's a large stamp and they're not giving even pressure. So you have to give even pressure to get the whole of your stamped image. All right. So it's just about practice, really. You can ink it up like this, you can ink it up like this, but just learn to get the right amount of pressure as you're going along. And when you place your stamp down, make sure that you're giving pressure. It's not masses of pressure, but again, it has to be straight up, straight down, not hard pushing, straight up, straight down when you're done. When you have a bigger stamp, a massive stamp, then yes, you may need to press a little bit harder in the middle. But for some people, it doesn't matter how much they try, doing stamping like this is hard for them because they've either got arthritis or they have, you know, some kind of motor neuron disease, for example, or MS or something like that, where they can't, they physically can't hold the blocks well and stamp. Some people shake. Some people have got just a natural tremor, or they might have something that's causing that, or some people just don't have the strength to hold our blocks. In which case, I'm going to recommend that you use the Stamparatus, okay, which is basically it's a stamping tool. It's used to give good placement to things, but actually it's fantastic for people who have trouble, especially stamping, or if you have trouble stamping large images, okay, such as this one. So this is one that we used at class yesterday. So I'm just going to give it a final wipe over so it hasn't got any residue of the ink from yesterday. And this is a massive stamp, and this is from the All That You Are stamp set. This one, you'll have seen one of my cards go up today, this morning. Oh, I'm missing messages. Hold on. Jackie, hello. Happy Monday to you, Jackie, as well. Must practice my stamping again soon. Yes, you must, Jackie. You must come stamping with us soon. So yeah, so this is the All That You Are stamp set, and I love this, but some people are put off by large images like this because it can be difficult. And I would always recommend that you use the stamping tool called the Stamparatus. It comes with 2 of these plates which are removable. I've taken the top one off because we don't need it for this. And we're just going to do an image with this and show you how easy it is to stamp when it's big. And then we'll take it off, I'll put it on my block, and you can see some of the issues that you might have and how to fix it. But I do think that for anyone who has any kind of hand issues, or just, you know, you just can't get it. You've tried and you just can't get, I'm going to move, no I'm not, that's going to have to live there. Okay, you know, you just can't cope with stamping with a big block, and that's not to say, but you still want to stamp and you obviously want to enjoy your stamping. This is a tool that would work for you. And what I did was, sorry, we're going to have to put up with that light for a minute. What I did was I did this card, okay, and this card we made using just a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock, because this is about basic stamping. But at class, I can have my Big Shot out, and my Big Shot can do big, you know, cutting. And so we cut this frame out, and we cut this piece out here. But for newbies who don't have a Big Shot, I'd like to show you how you can make a card like this. We're going to change the colours, and we're going to put a border on it in a different way for some very simple stamping, hopefully with no issues. That's the idea. So because I've placed this here, I can take a single piece of cardstock cut down in half, ready for us to go, and we're going to stamp this in Highland Heather. Okay, maybe if I bring this over here, it might be better for a moment. Okay, so we're going to literally just ink it up exactly the same as you would when it's on a stamp, sorry, on a block. You're just inking it up. Okay, and you see you've got that. Can we see a shine on it? Yeah. Okay, so there. See, you got that shine going on the stamp. That means you know you've got it covered. Okay. Pop it back in the slot and fold it over. And because I've positioned it like this, you can see it's going to fit perfectly into the front half of your card. Okay. And I'm just rubbing this over like this. And then we're going to lift it off. And you'll notice that I've missed just here and just here. But you know what? That doesn't matter, because with this I can go back in and I can just press a little bit harder there, and they're back. So I love this tool for people who have trouble stamping, because it makes your stamping so much cleaner, so much easier, so much quicker. And you know you don't have to worry, so all that stress and strain is taken out from your just normal stamping. So that's just a quick showing of you of the Stamparatus. You can do so much more with it. I've done a whole series. I did a whole series on it, and I've done a whole class on it with even more techniques and stuff. But really, it's just great for placement. And I love the fact you can use it with photopolymer stamps or rubber stamps. It doesn't matter. You get a foam mat to use with your photopolymer. And these lines on here, you can get grid paper, but all these lines on here and all the lines that are actually on the plate itself, don't know if you can see that. Probably if I move that away you might be able to see. They're all lines are on here too. So when you have a sentiment, you can just line it up with the lines and put your paper in, and you know it's going to be straight. So I love my Stamparatus, can you tell? And you know, should you miss anything, or you know you've got a piece in the middle that you haven't managed to get, you just go straight back in and it's done, and then wipe it off with a chamois and you're finished, and that's it. So that's the Stamparatus. So I'm just going to pop it down there. But I thought then what I would do is we'll just finish off with some little stamping on this card, just to finish it off, because although you could just send it just like that, it's always good, I think, to jazz it up a little bit. Okay, so I thought that we would do, we're going to do the happy birthday like I did on the other one, but we can either do it in a circle and pop it up on that, or we could do it in a little punch like this. This is the punch from the Punch Box, Darling Punch Box, and it's a lovely little label like that. So I think we might do it on that one. Don't forget, guys, please do comment, add your comments. I'm going to do a giveaway at the end of the session. I'm going to go back and have a look at all your comments and pick somebody from random. So if you're on and you like this stuff, then please comment away. Oh, we got Jay or Barry on, and we got Sandra. Oh, that's marvellous. Excellent. Give me some thumbs up and some likes, guys. I always like those two. You know me. So we're going to just tap. And sometimes you may not see me, you know, it might be too quick, and I apologise for that. So this one I'm trying to show you. I'm going to tap it, stamp it, very, very lightly. That's all you really need. And then we're going to go in and we're going to punch this out. Hey, thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Makes me feel like I'm not talking to myself, which is always nice. Okay. So then we're going to punch this out like that. All right. And then, so we've got that in the slightly darker, like this. But I thought, well, it might be nice to have a little bit of a border. And in this stamp set, we've got some leaves. and I thought maybe we could just do a few leaves, just kind of making up a little border, just to show you that you don't need lots of fancy die cutting machines if you're new to stamping. Obviously, if you're not new to stamping, you want lots of lovely die cutting machines. But if you're new to stamping and you just want to give it a go and see how things are, and see, you know, what you can do with some simple supplies, then actually you just need some ink. The amount of things you can do with just ink, I think, are incredible. So I thought we'd just kind of do a little bit of a border coming up here, and you see I naturally just tap onto there. See how we go. Can I fit another one in there? I think so. And then we might go, should we go up or should we go down? Decisions. I think we're going to go up like this. What do we think? It's just to create some kind of extra design, really. So yeah, so if you comment on this, you're going to get put into my giveaway, and then somebody's going to get this card with a little prize in it as well, because that's always good. I like giving away stuff. Oh, I've got comments. Hold on, I'm going to... Hey, okay, so Ruth says she's ironing at work, watching and listening. Fantastic. Lovely distraction to ironing. Yes, Ruth, it is. Did you see my thing on Saturday? Said I just buy stuff that doesn't need ironing anymore, because then I've got more time for crafting. Although, to be fair, Sean always used to do my ironing, so I didn't really do much myself. But hey, it's always good to have an excuse to do the ironing. Ah, Thelma's on. Thelma says, I'm still having problems opening the ink pads. Thank you for that question. Yes, now is that the new ink pads or is that the old style ink pads, Thelma? I might do both so that you can see the difference, because it is tricky and you can damage the new ones if you don't get it right. There you go. So at one point I thought, what have I done? This looks going to look awful. But actually, hopefully now, can you see that? I'm going to just turn it sideways a little bit. Can you see? Just a little border all the way around. Looks quite cute. Okay, so let's talk ink pads then, Thelma. Let's see. Yeah. So Ruth says it works at ironing and I get paid for it. Yeah, she's ironing so she gets paid for it, and she's watching me craft at the same time. That's always good. Okay, so let's do this. So two different types of ink pads, Thelma. Okay, we've got the old version and the new version. So the new version is easy. You just open it like a book and slide it to close. Okay, does that make sense? Jackie says I don't iron. I have ironed on occasion, but Sean normally does my ironing. That's true. And then to close it, you just open it up like that. I mean, you just literally, so shall we do that again? So you open it like a book and you slide it along. Now some of them are a little stiff. I think this one's a little stiffer. Yeah, this one's a little stiffer. So on this one, open it like a book, slide it, and it's a little tight, so just give it a wiggle and then it goes. Okay, make sure it's all the way through. When you come to close it, you're going to slide it all the way back. Make sure you don't stop halfway and try and force it closed, because that's when you can take notches out of your ink pad. So you need to get it right to the back and then close it like that. Okay, so we'll close that one like this. Okay, now, so those are really simple, and I'm really glad they've changed the design. The old version, which is what I think you might be thinking about, got these 3 dots on it down here. See this? 3 dots. Those 3 dots tell you that's where you need to push, but a lot of people make the mistake and push like this, and then they get it stuck. Okay? What you need to do is have your finger at this end, and you need to push forwards, not up. So it's a forward motion, not an up motion. Okay? Hold it there with that finger. Then you can flip it over, and then you can push it closed. Okay, so there's that extra flip that's the that's on this one than it is to that one. Okay, and then you slide it this way and you flip it over and you lock it into place. Okay, so it has that slight extra bit where you push it forward, then you flip, then you close, and then you pull it, and then you flip it, and then you close. Okay, and when you mix between the two, you get confused, and I keep trying to do that, and then you only realise that I actually have to just do this and this. So they've just basically made this whole flippy thing a lot easier. But just make sure that you get to the ends, that your ink pads are really right at the very end before you try and flip it over. Otherwise this happens. There's this. So I think somebody tried to flip this here somehow, like that, and that has broken the top edges of this ink pad. Okay, these do not flip like this. These have to come all the way forwards and then flip closed. Okay, so just be careful of your edges because they are quite weak, because they're not supposed to be forced, because it's supposed to be an easy way of opening and closing ink pads. Yeah, the old inks you do get, I think you get more inky fingers with the old than you do with the new, because these ones you're just literally opening and pushing like that. If you find you get inky fingers when you do this, because I've got nails so I can hold it and pull it, if you find you're getting inky fingers here trying to grab this, then don't try and grab that, just push from one end, push that end so that you can then grab like that and close it over like that. Okay, does that help? So there we go. So we've done that. We've talked about ink pads and stamping. We've done this little border now all the way around. And now I'm just going to pop on my little happy birthday. Obviously we need dimensionals, but before that I thought let's add a bit of ribbon, because it's always good to have a bit of ribbon. So we're going to pop a little bit of ribbon on here. And this is the gorgeous grape, so we know it's going to match. Is that too much? I might just take that end off there. Ooh. If you hear some clicks, it's because I've got the heating. I've got my little heater going because it's cold, 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 cold. Jackie's asked a good question, as she always does. So Jackie says, are the actual ink pads inside the same? They are and they aren't, Jackie. So let's open this one again, and then we'll open this one again, and then we'll stand them side to side, and you can probably see that the actual foam, let's move that out of the way before an accident happens. If I do this and this, I don't know if you can see. Can you see that the foam itself, and you probably can't use something white underneath it. Hold on. Can you see the foam pad itself is slightly thinner? So this is the new one. This foam pad is slightly thinner than this one. This is thicker. Okay. Again, I think that these ones, you used to get more ink on the side, where you'd push too hard, people would rock, or push too hard and you'd get ink all over your blocks and then get marks. So I actually prefer the thinner ink pad, but the actual ink in it is exactly the same. The re-inkers work exactly the same, and yeah, they seem to last fine. I just have used my Mango Melody quite a lot, so yeah, that's why it needs re-inking. I would rather re-ink a little more and have less juicy all over your fingers than not re-ink, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to use a bit of snail. Next week I'm going to be talking to you about adhesives and how we use all our different adhesives. Now I've got to find, that's it. That always happens to me. I always lose things underneath. So we're going to use some of the trusty dimensionals. I'm going to put one at the top. And then, oops, get it right, place it properly. There we go. And we'll just put two on here because we've got the ribbon for it to go over. I'm just going to pop that up there, like that. There we go. And then obviously to finish off, what do we think we're going to finish off with? Bit of bling. Got to finish off with some bling. So I'm going pearls today. I think pearls would look good. with my trusty take your pick tool, and I'm gonna just pick up some of these, and I'm thinking, oh, do I want to do these? Yeah, I'm thinking I want to do in the middle of these. Let's do this. Let's do all the ones like this. Lovely. There we go. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope that's helped with some of your stamping queries. Please do carry on and comment underneath and let me know if you've got any more, because it's always good to see what people are up to and to see if I've answered all your questions or if there are more questions I can help with. So we'll put some pearls on that, like that. I might put some over here, but then if I put them over here, I'm going to have to put them over there. So I'm just going to leave them like that on there. So that's our finished card. I'm going to just switch this one off so you can see a bit better in the dark, but it does look better when you're seeing it on the camera. So you can see the little border that I've created around here, and then the stamping on there. And then I'm going to just finish off maybe with some larger pearls down here on the actual happy bit. Actually, maybe I'll just finish off with one. I don't know. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to do 3. There we go. If in doubt, go for a nice number at the bottom like that. There we go, because that then matches that. So there you go. That's a nice quick card. Just kind of showing you how you can change it up if you don't have any frames or whatever. So Ruth says, how long should an ink pad last with average use? That's a really tricky question, Ruth, because I don't think I have average use, because I use all mine at classes, so it's not really average. But to be honest, all my ink pads themselves have lasted from day one. I've still got ink pads from 7 years ago, and all I've had to do is just add some extra ink. So the actual pad itself, I think, will last a long time. I think you just need to re-ink it when it goes dry. And for me, I haven't had to re-ink. I don't think I've had to re-ink all my ink pads. The paler ones seem to go quicker than the darker ones. I don't know why, but the paler ones do seem to lose their ink, or maybe I just use pale colours a little bit more. I don't know. But I have had to re-ink a couple. So I've had to re-ink my powder pink, and I've had to re-ink my pool party a couple of times. But we've used that quite a lot. And I'm now just about to re-ink my Mango Melody. But I've had Mango Melody since July, and I've used it quite a lot. So that just, I hope, gives you some idea of how long things will last, etc. Okay, so hopefully you've enjoyed that. I've been rabbiting on for half an hour. I will be putting this up onto YouTube, as I always do, up onto my blog and YouTube, and hopefully I'll take a better picture of that so you can see it a little bit better, with less light shining on it, although it is quite pale, so it's quite tricky to see. But anyway, I will take a picture of that, and whoever posts and, you know, put posts on, etc., and reacts to this and sends me love or whatever, I will pick a name out the hat, and I will send you some of my love hearts and some of and this card as well. Alrighty, so I hope you've enjoyed watching that. And yeah, Jackie says she's still had her ink pads since when SU was first launched. That's 10 years ago. So Ruth, I think they're a really good investment. The only other thing I would say, actually, talking about a really good investment, is actually the Stampin' Up! Acrylic blocks for your stamping, because they do have such a nice depth to them, and they are easy to hold. Even people with arthritis do tend to be able to hold these. So they do a mixture between the Stamparatus and this. But I do think having a good block also helps to stop your stamping go awry. Okay, so that's just a good thing. Right, okay then. So I will leave you there. Have a lovely day. It's sunny here, but cold. So I hope you're having a good time wherever you are, and I will chat again to you soon. And yeah, have a great week. Alrighty, I'll see you again next Monday. Cheers. Bye.